And welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, IWL Commissioner Alex G. And with me this evening, IWAR Commissioner, BRL Commissioner, and NWL Commissioner Matt Riley, CWL Commissioner Michael Swanson. What's going on, gentlemen?
Not much.
Everything and nothing.
Everything and nothing. I dig that. So this episode will be the January cycle in review. And we're going to start off with the IWL Independent Wrestling League number 116. League champion, Red Panda. Television champion, Joe Boring. New York City champion, Hardcore, Jim Stevens. Los Angeles champion, Hangman, Seth Gallows. Boston champion, Ali Atari. Detroit champion, Justin Grace. Cleveland champion, Josh the Beast Gordon. Dallas champion, the Motor City Hellhound. Memphis champion, Neo Dragon. Miami champion, Monkey Eye Tim. San Francisco champion, Johnny London. Chicago champion, the American Savage, Buddy. Tag team champions, Graphic Violence, TI-83 and Algebra Jones. The Math Club. TV tag team champions, Josh the Beast Gordon and Hardcore Jim Stevens. Six-man champions winning another 5 free matches, Pigeon Boy, Quailman, and Recyclops. TV six-man champions, the Christian Warrior, the American Patriot, and the Chameleon. And our Battle Royal winner is the Red Panda. So, Alex G., what's going down in the IWL? Well, first, I guess I should talk about the passing of our great commissioner, Robert Race. Now, to go a little behind the scenes here, and to be completely honest, over the last 6 months, I literally had no idea what to do with this character. So one day I was watching this documentary on Superman. So I'm watching this documentary on Superman, and they're talking about, in the early 90s, they were getting ready to do a big wedding issue with Lois and Clark finally getting married. But at the time, they had the TV show Lois and Clark, and the TV networks wanted them to wait on that issue. So they got all the writers for Superman, all the editors, and they put them in a retreat, and they're thinking of new ideas for Superman to do a big storyline to get him through like the 2-year period that they had to wait to do this big wedding issue. So one of the ongoing jokes that they had during this retreat, when they're trying to come up with ideas, someone would just pipe up and was like, why don't we just kill him? And that's how we got the Death of Superman storyline in the comic book. So I was like, So when I'm thinking about new stuff to do with Robert Race, it kept on popping up in my brain. Why don't you just kill him? So that was literally the inspiration for the death of Robert Race. And then, I was watching Herb Abrams' UWF. It's on YouTube, folks. You should check out this promotion. And Herb Abrams, being the promoter of that promotion, died in a very strange and tragic way, which I literally stole for the death of Robert Race. So I wrote out this character. He's no longer with us. We have a brand new commissioner. I don't know if I got that point across during this cycle, but Samantha Soley will be taking his place. She was appointed by the International Wrestling Council to take over as commissioner of the IWL, and I think she'll do a fantastic job. So just give you everyone's a little inside baseball to start off this Tubecast. We did have the write-ups for StarCard. Thank you for everyone who submitted match write-ups for that. Greatly appreciative. Everyone did a fantastic job. Thought it was a great pay-per-view overall. Don't forget, Cycle 120, live from the Palatial Nassau Coliseum, will be Soul Survivor. So make sure you get your $1 entries in for that. Yeah, don't be cheap. All the proceeds goes to the pot for the credits. So if we get 30 entries, you will receive $30 in IWA credits, which is a great prize. I redid the poster for the 4-pack challenge. A little Arn Anderson action on there. I know Swanson, you're a big fan of the AA, so you're probably really happy to see that. So same rules still apply. We had the results for Tuesday in Texas. Ali Atari did defeat Luther Alexander to capture the IWL World Heavyweight Championship. We will have a write-up for that next cycle. So, guys, please read that because I think you guys will find it very interesting. In addition to that, we have the Young Lions Cup. Now, this will be a one-night event taking place at Soul Survivor. Participants include Joe Boring, Jordan Drake, Alexander J. Styles, Apollos Payne, Motor City Hellhound, Josh Gordon, and the Velociraptor. So, and Red Panda. Can't forget about Red Panda. The winner of that will receive a shot at the Pan American Championship at the following pay-per-view, which I believe is Wrestle Riots. I think overall I'm very happy with the TT. We got Alexander J. Styles coming in, swinging for the fences. He might be the MVP of IWL 2020. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Another fantastic TT from Ali Atari, looking jacked and slightly different, but jacked nonetheless. We got a little growth. That's good. It's all good. Fantastic TT from Jake Audley. He's gloating that Kennedy Cage is now gone, and he'll be going after Neo Dragon. Again, he has that title shot at Soul Survivor. So that's going to be a hell of a match. 5 stars.
Who's fighting Neo Dragon?
Jack Audley.
Jack Audley.
Because due to the results of the Holiday Rumble. We have TT from the Three Birds, the new IWL Unified Tag Team Champions. They will face Monkey Eye Tim and Indian Joe. Monkey Eye Tim and Indian Joe. I'm quietly rooting for the Three Birds here. I mean, they were a draft pick a while back, and they've done a fantastic job since they came in. They came in from the BRL. We have Magnum TL in the Midnight Rider. It's still going after William Worthy. Worthy's doing big things, of course. We have TT from Queen Vixen Red, Johnny WrestleFest, who still smells like pee. We got some artwork here from Red Panda. I'm glad to see her appearance here in the IWL. We have the Velociraptor, who's going after guys like Luther, and he's talking junk about Luther and Joe Boring. I think Joe Boring versus Velociraptor is going to be a hell of a match. Moving forward, you have the Usual Heroes. Again, already making a bid for 6th Man of the Year. The Chameleon, American Patriot, and the Christian Warrior. Again, rookies. I know there's a lot of rookies who listen to this show. Look at their TT and just do that. It's that good. I highly recommend it. We have the Graces, who are looking to get in a competition with Soul Train Jones and Che Guerrero. So let's see how the Revolutionaries respond to this. We have Josh Gordon, Seth Gallows, and Jim Stevens. I was so happy to get fucking Josh Gordon. Again, he's another guy that's going to make a huge impact moving forward in the IWL. We have Queen Vixen Red, who wants Luther's belts, but not his seed, apparently. But we'll see how that goes. We have a picture here of Tiamat. Let's see, Tiamat has returned and looking like she's going to kick some ass. We have a picture of, on the cover of Revolution magazine, we have Neo Dragon, who is a real American hero, as we know. That's true. We have Luther Alexander, who is excited about being a Wrestler of the Year. So, again, boo. He won it. He's also he is the poster child for Ico Pro, so he currently uses Ico Pro.
Need the Ico Pro.
Need that Ico Pro. So, again, I do like the Weekly World News. Again, it's a little parody. Again, we're just having a little fun, guys. Don't ever take it personal, but it's true. WrestleFest smells like pee. The Backstabber and a prototypical Backstabber TT. At the very least, he's talking about the Red Panda, which is nice. His fans are called the Backaholics. Now, I want to take a couple minutes out here, if you guys will indulge me about the Backstabber. I like the concept of the Backstabber, but I wish he was more backstabbery. Like, if your name is the Backstabber, if I had a wrestler named the Backstabber, every cycle I would team up with a different person and then turn on them. And like stab them in the back, like every cycle. That would be the gimmick. Because why would you team up with anyone named the Backstabber? It goes back to like wrestling names. And I know, again, like I said, rookies listen to the show. It's good to have a cool gimmick name, right? Backstabber, whatever it is, right?
Right.
But that also limits what you can do with that character. Like, can the Backstabber be a babyface? with the name like the back. He stabs people. It's in the name. He stabs them in the back.
It's a tough one to come back from. Not since the days of kick him in the balls, Smith. Could you find a guy?
Like, if his name was like Bob fucking Jones, like there's a lot of directions you could take Bob Jones in. He could be anything you want him to be. Unfortunately, the backstabber. When you guys come up with the names for your wrestlers, it's don't be limiting. I'm not saying hey, just do a generic name, but think. I want you guys to think hard when you guys come up with your names of your wrestlers. Just take some time. I was like, hey, what can I do with this guy? If I need to change directions, can I? Sometimes you can't. And I do like the back. He likes to throw fire into people's faces. He made an appearance at the pay-per-view. So I always say I have a special affinity and an affection for the backstabber. So again, more TT from Indian Joe, Monkey Eye Tim, and Red Fox and Neo Dragon. Oh, I love Neo Dragon. His TT is fucking phenomenal. He's double issue of People's Magazine. He's AOC and Neo Dragon are now a couple, apparently. I like this. Mr. Poppins with Jack Udley. Jack Udley rumors for role in Unwelcome Reboot. When I read that, I was like drinking a glass of soda and I fucking spit it out because it was fucking so hilarious. So again, man, I did it. That's our Pan American champion. So again, guys, great job with the TT. Keep it up. Keep on doing what you guys are doing. I gave a special shout out to my man Fahrenheit, who has to recap all this nonsense, and I feel like his recaps are getting larger and larger, which I wanted to get larger and larger. That means we have a lot of shit going on. So, you keep him busy, but he's fantastic. I love him to death. So, great job, everyone in the IWL. Keep it up. And, again, like I say this every Tubecast, man, I think 2020 is going to be our year. For sure.
IWL's on the come, as they say.
Yeah, twice if you're lucky.
Hey.
Like they're like what, number 3 in overall matches cycle, I think.
Yeah, you guys had a big bump, and I go back to my thing about we're seeing the tick up from the guys arriving from the draft. It's a little bump, and then we'll see who sticks around and gives it a good go.
Agreed. All right, next up, New Wave League number 143, League Champion Super Mombaro Jr., TV Champion Nick Bloodtrap, Atlantic Champion Big Guns Greg Gennard, Central Champion the Jersey Joker, Dixie Champion Keith Blood, Eastern Champion the Hawaiian Heartthrob, Mountain Champion Randy the Stingray Borden, Northern Champion Thick Sean, Pacific Champion Johnny Luger, Prairie Champion Glacier, his blood runs cold, Southern Champion Comeback Kid, Western Champion Grizz Mousakis, Tag Team Champions Keith Blood and Slash Master, TV Tag Team Champions Nick Bloodtrap and Nate Moneyman Barnes, 6-Man Champions Torch, Inferno, and Glacier, TV 6-Man Champions Keith Blood, Johnny Luger, and the Slash Master, and the Battle Royal winner was Randy the Stingray Borden. So Matt, what's going down in the NWO?
Well, as we always say, oh no, we just lost a whole bunch of rookies. What's going to happen now? And new guys come and show up and step up. And we've got a good class guy, a good core. And having a good core is a really good thing for NWL. Some people are like, oh, their matches dropped. That's fine. We're going to have a lull. And it's not about having the most matches. It's just about having a lot of guys being active and fun. If you're listening to this right now and you've not yet contacted me through either email or the Facebook, I would like to hear from the following players. Big Guns Greg Gennard, Randy the Stingray Borden, Fiction, the Pharmacist RX Payne, Jonathan Iron Eagle, Cobra Commander, Yellow Dog, Inferno, Glacier, and Torch, Kane Cooper, Bulk Brogan.
Isn't Bulk Brogan on the IWAR page now?
He might be.
I'm pretty sure he is.
All right, well, that's good. The reason I'm asking is...
I have pictures with him, too.
Right. Some of the players are involved in on the message board and everything else, but there's a lot more I could be doing if I had contact from these players. So if you can drop me a line and even just say, hey, because it'll help me with a couple of things. One is knowing what image to use. For Big Guns Greg, I had to use who was it? I used Oh, I haven't done it yet because it's a new title champion. He's number one contender. So I think I was going to use Rick Steiner or no, Brian Cage.
Brian
So,
Cage.
it's Big Guns Greg is awesome. Like his stuff is so much fun to read because he just attacks people. He's a great bad guy. Fiction is a phenomenal, and he picked Velveteen Dream as his avatar, and it's so appropriate because Fiction's like this just fantastic promos, well written. Pharmacist RX Payne, they're fun to read. I want to see some more TTs from like Cobra Commander. He kind of fell off the map, but he's still active. So if you're listening, please get back into it. You got Moneyman Barnes, you got Nick Bloodtrap, you got a lot of guys who are bringing it to the table. It's now time for that next step and see that next group of guys come in and start taking that torch, so to speak. Hate Clown, Hollywood Machine Gun, the name's the Reaper. We had some guys go inactive, so like White Elephant Senior was in this big feud with Greg Gannar, and Greg was just beating the shit out of him, and then he went inactive. So Super Bombero Jr. comes along and is like, "I'll take the fight for you," and now he's getting the hell beat out of him by Greg. So it's been a really good few months. So I'm hoping to keep building on it. And as always, feel free to contact me. Our Clash of Champions write-up will be in this coming issue. I won't give away the results. I post them on the Facebook page for early information. But moving forward, the next Clash, I book those matches off the Trash Talk. So if you want to call somebody out and be like, "Hey, I'm fitting you." Now, the only time I don't do the exact match is if one of the people in the match is already in a title match or some other match. But we have a lot of fun going on, and it's really about making the game as good as it can be for you. So, get active, cut some promos, call people out. We have some good guys. We have some bad guys. Now it's taking the next step and some good feuds up. So when we're doing this again, end of the year, we have like all these great awards to give out. So I don't want to go too much in it, but we have like some factions like the Slaughterhouse, which is Slashmaster, Johnny Luger, and Keith Blood, sorry. It really is a fun little group of guys here. So if we can keep pushing for that and keep moving forward, it'll be a lot of fun. So again, if you've not contacted me yet, drop me a line. Either email me, Riley1d20@gmail.com, or through Facebook. Go to our page, join up, tell us who you are, where you manage, and we'll get you in there. And we don't spam you. We don't hammer you with stuff. We just kind of contact you with important things. But there's so much more action and stuff you can get involved with if you're not part of it. So hopefully you'll check it out and give us a holler. So that's the NWL for you.
All right, man, I dig that. Okay, next up is the CWL Continental Wrestling League number 246. League champion Marcus the Monster Monroe. TV champion Big Blank number 1. United States champion Norman Spivey. Yukon champion Frederick Xavier. Caribbean champion Unleavened Bread. Amazon Basin champion Johnny the Wrench Morello. British Isles champion Alec Von Schnapp. Arabian champion the Desperado Jan Nash. South African champion Matthew Zabapowski. Siberian champion Mike freaking Mason. East Asian champion Big Blank number 3. Oceanic champion Kenneth Zabapowski. Tag team champions winning 5 free matches, Donathan Zabapowski and Kenneth Zabapowski. TV tag team champions, Johnny the Wrench Morello and Vincent Torrio. 6-man champions, Anthony Zabapowski, Matthew Zabapowski, and Sebastian Zabapowski. Is that the Dudley brothers? Like the Dudley boys? What are they doing with their gimmick? What's happening?
I don't know.
Okay, that's good. TV 6-man champions, The Philosopher, Elijah Davis, Lubrious, Lauren O'Dur, and Marcus the Monster Monroe, and our Battle Royal winning 25 free matches, Unleavened Bread. So, Mike Swanson, what's going down in the CWL?
We just had our pay-per-view, The Big, the Bad, and the Boring. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to give out some results real quick. First match of the night was the number 1 contender for the newly minted International Championship, Lauren O'Dur, won over Big John Stone, becoming the number 1 contender for his own title. Because reasons.
Controversy.
Yes.
Big Bad Bob. Yes. Yes. I sometimes I stay up late at night and hope and hope that one day he wins the IWA World. Just because I want that promo with Goldberg's
That's going to be
music
awesome.
and the whole nine. I desperately want that.
In the UW arena with what was it, Pam Rose and Axel Martinez as the announcers. There's tables and thumbtacks everywhere, broken fluorescent light tubes, with the UW Heavyweight Championship over one belt, the IWA Championship belt over the other. That's got to happen.
I think you should officially induct the UW arena. like the next pay-per-view should take place from the UW arena.
Don't get ahead of me. We're on the way.
Yes.
Because we haven't gotten to the main event yet.
Okay.
All right. Second match was we finally have a winner in our tag team unification series. The Syndicate barely eked out a win over the Von Schnaps to unify the Supreme and Deluxe Tandem Championships to create the new Continental Tag Team Championships. Yay!
Who booed that? That's not classy. Come on.
Next match, Death had an open contract for a steel cage match against a mystery opponent, and who should show up but Graham Underwood? And lo and behold, Death prevailed over our former IWAR world champion. But lo and behold, who should prevail but Death over our former IWAR world champion? And however many days he held the IWL heavyweight championship, Graham Underwood. Death defeated Graham Underwood in Graham Underwood's pay-per-view debut, which is huge. That's I'd call that an upset. Next up, Alec Von Schnapp defeated Mike Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah. In our Clash of the Titans, Marcus the Monster Monroe defeated Big John Stone in our Battle of the Big Ben, who's the best big man in the CWL. And then our International Championship unification bout, national champion Lauren O'Dour defeated Axel Von Schnapp, who was the East and West champion, creating the new international championships. Those are all unified now. It's nice, neat, and pretty. And on our main event, we had Big Bad Bob triumphing over Fubar Snafu in a no-holds-barred UW-style match. Yeah. There's a lot of really fun angles going into this pay-per-view. I'm really looking forward to the write-ups coming up from there. Coming up next cycle, it's going to be a lot of fun. Trash Talk this cycle was fantastic. It was a story of so many debuts. We have the Nashes coming in, Jerry, John, and Jan. Monster Truck Tanaka coming in, who's going to just wreak havoc on everything. The Chaotix came in. The Blanks are back. That's big news. The Blanks are back. That's going to spell a whole new world of trouble for the whole six-man division and tag team division. It's going to turn everything upside down. It's going to be awesome. Mascara de la Muerte came in last cycle. We have all this new blood coming in at the beginning of the new year, and it's going to make things really, really fun, really interesting. It's going to be an awesome 2020. We got a lot of fun plans in store, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, man, I think it's going to be a hell of a year for the CWL. They're on the rise once again. Next up is the BBL Bloodbath League, number 476, league champion, the Living Nightmare Malix. TV champions, Graham Cracker Johnson. Atlantic champion, Hubert the Introvert Roberts. Central champion, Calculus Adams. Dixie champions, Hillbilly Fred. Eastern champion, the Gaboon Kid. Mountain champion, Righteous Justice Washington. Northern champion, War Pig. Pacific champion, the Mamba Kid. Prairie champion, Hillbilly Red. Southern champion, Wrist Thick, Ricardo Cabeza. Western champion, Exodus, the Mindful Osborne. Tag team champions, Manslaughter and Chuckles TV. Tag team champions, Hillbilly Fred and Hillbilly Red. Six-man champions, Disembowel Mongrel, Disembowel Mehook, and the War Pig. TV six-man champions, Serenity, Manslaughter, and Chuckles, and the Battle Royal winner, the Mamba Kid. Next up, BRL number 544, Battle Royal League. League champion, Chris Endgame. TV champion, the King Tony Rose. Atlantic champion, Crusher Vicious. Central champion, Becky North. Dixie champion, Seth Adams Lee. Eastern champion, the talented Max Ripley. Mountain champion, Matthew Von Slaughter. Northern champion Duke Nukem. Welcome to the title page, bud. Pacific champion El Dragon de Oro. Prairie champion, the author of Agony, LePage Turner. Southern champion Lost Misfit #2. Western champion Money Driven Mike Sebastian. Tag team champions Late Night Logan Kane and Handsome Hollywood Star. TV tag team champions Matthew Von Slaughter and Jane the Vixen Red. Six-man champions Lord Regal, Martel the Model, and Zolf Ziggler. They win another 5 free matches. TV six-man champions the sharpshooter Jake Scarlett, the talented Max Ripley, and the Russian rocket Alexei Smirnov. And the Battle Royal winner, Duke Nukem. So, Matt, what's going down in the Battle Royal League?
All right, I want you to, for a moment, everyone listening, to, if you played the game a long time ago and it was all by snail mail, I want you to remember that feeling of getting the bulletin, having no idea what happened, opening up the bulletin. You know, I'll give you a little. You tear that page open, you get the page, look at the title page, and you see your wrestler's name with a championship. The reason I bring that up, our current champion, Chris Endgame, has been in the IWA since, I think, 2013, 14?
He debuted right after Luther.
Right, so about 2013. He's been in the BRL for about 3 years now, 4 years maybe, and this is his first league championship. I think he won.
Congratulations, buddy.
So for Chris Endgame, it's cool because it's like, of course, LePage Turner just gave him a whole heap of shit about not winning belts, so of course he won a title. But the LePage Turner curse still works. It's just a cool thing because I know this player plays through snail mail. He's not on the internet. I get letters from, like, he sends letters to the IWA. They scan them and send them to me. And he's been around for a long time. He's been active every cycle. He cuts promos. He's very concerned about not overstepping a line. He's been very polite about things. He's just been a good long-time player. So congrats to Chris Endgame. I think it's kind of actually very cool that you got to get the bullet in the mail and open it up and see your wrestler's name there, because that's something a lot of us that played in the old days can relate to. So Battle Royal wise, we just had our pay-per-view for the Royal Rumble. That's getting written up this weekend, or starting tomorrow. I've already got the next clash done for NWL. And there's a lot that happens. Yes, noises. And the Royal Rumble is the first time we're trying this. I know who wins it. I'm going to write it all out and make it work out right. It's going to be a lot of fun to read. I've got a lot of little twists and turns in there. So hopefully people will enjoy the reading. And it's the start of a new year, so we're looking to see what happens. Some things haven't changed. We have the same six-man champions as the first cycle in a row. Their ninth cycle, Lord Regal, Zolf Ziggler, Martel the Model. They already have 3 IWA six-men to their credit, so I don't think they'll win another one this time. But again, they're quickly advancing up the ranks of all-time greats for the tagged six-man teams. King Tony Rose retained the TV belt. If he can retain it one more cycle, he will set or tie the record set by superstar Rick Riley back in 1989 or 90, sorry. So just fun things. Duke Nukem also won the Battle Royal in the second cycle last year. So he's an early bird when it comes to winning the Battle Royal. And again, what we'll do is all of the people who win the Battle Royal this year will become automatically entered into next year's Royal Rumble. The winner of this year's Royal Rumble goes to WrestleRama, where they get a Revolutionary Championship match against the Revolution Champion. So that's kind of cool. Other things going on. Great to see. I like to see when a trash talk tag team like Logan Kane and Hollywood Star, who set up a feud, and just to kind of let players know, the tag team championship match for the global titles, tag team titles, between Russian Roulette, Alexei Smirnov and Jake Scarlett versus Logan Kane and Hollywood Star came about because we advanced Jane Red and Matthew Van Slaughter to the World Tag Title shot. We'll talk about that in a minute. And the teams kind of talked about a stipulation for the match, and said, "Can we make this a one-cycle matchup?" So I said, "Sure." So at all times, I want to make the game as fun as possible. I call it the Alex rule, because for a while Alex had this, "Fuck it, whatever you guys want to do, let's do it," and kind of go about the way like, I'd rather have you have fun as much as possible. So we try to make things as good as we can. So if you have an idea for a matchup, so for example, the Misfit Messiah, Keith Maples guy, came back, former world champion, IWA champion that is, Misfit Messiah came back in, demolished R.A. Rude. So they're going to have a match at WrestleRama. And that's where I let you guys take the rest of the, I'll give you the setup. You obviously set up a good match. Your best way to get a hold of me is email me and say, hey, I want to face so-and-so, or can we set this up, or just message me on Facebook and get it running. I have players that I talk to on Facebook. I have players I talk to through my phone. I have players I talk to on my GChat. I have players I talk to through a Spirit Indian guide. Whatever it takes. I try to make this as fun as possible. So don't be afraid to, reach out. The title page right now is riddled with a lot of new faces, and I like to see that because it's good for the league. I know we have a lot of big records in here, and we have 2 pages of rankings, so that's kind of neat. We'll get into that whole new rankings look. But in the BRL, the Royal Rumble is going to be fun, and I can't wait to write that up. A lot of stuff going on. Promo-wise, I won't get too much into it. Just there's a lot of great trash talk. Keep it coming, guys. It's good. It makes my job easier. Breaking news, we will be doing a global 6-man division. What I'm going to do is start putting together the teams that I know that want in. I'll use either a very rough, if you have a logo, I'll try to use it. If you don't have a logo, I'll give you one for a placeholder. You can send me the info later, whatever. But once we get it all set up, we'll do a 6-man tournament. We'll figure out the new champions and have a new running title for that. Now, if you don't see your team represented, let me know. Get a hold of me. Say, hey, man, I want to be in on this, and that's fine. I'm happy to have you come on board. It's going to be an interesting cycle coming up. We're a few weeks away from it. So, feel free to get involved. Always feel free to get a hold of me and let me know if you have any questions, concerns, or ideas. I'm going to basically segue from talking about the Battle Royal to the IWAR-wide stuff, if you don't care.
Matt was going down IWAR-wide.
Because the BRL Women's Division is expanding to become the new IWAR World Championship for women. Now, here's how it's going to work. This coming cycle, I've made a rough list of all the active women wrestlers in the IWAR, not including the NWL. There's about 24 wrestlers, I believe, in that ballpark. What we will do is every active member who does trash talk will be ranked from 1 to 16. The top 8 will get entered into the next round. Of those top 8, the top 2 advance to face either Queen Betty Red, who was the Wrestler of the Year for the women, or Becky North, who is the current women's champion in the BRL. They have both got buys into the advance rounds. So those who keep going through will face off. The winners of those 2 matches at WrestleRama will then face off in another match at WrestleRama, and the winner of that match will become the first IWAR Women's World Champion. Now, the way this will work is every 3 cycles, I will rank the top 10 women wrestlers by scoring, and it'll be like every other belt in the BRL, where it's the top 5, it goes top 10, top 5, and the best score out of the first over 3 cycles. So it'll be easy to follow. It'll allow people to have female wrestlers in various leagues. We ask that you keep your roster to 1 female wrestler per IWAR to keep it easy. But what I'll probably do to allow people to have more female wrestlers if they want them is you can have, let's say, 3 female wrestlers, but for the rankings point, it's by player. So if you have 3 women and one's a 500, she gets in. The other 2 don't make the list. So it's about getting the most players involved and not the most scores for the one wrestler. So a one manager. So that's the IWAR Women's World Championship to be determined at WrestleRama 8. So, other things going on. We right now are plugging away at our big events coming up this spring, starting with the Four Corners Invitational, which I will throw to Mr. Swanson to talk about that. So,
all right. Currently, we have up to... What's up?
I said surprise.
Yeah. Curveball. We have currently 43 entries from 4 different leagues. It's only $1 to enter. It is IWAR-wide. Each individual league is going to have its own tournament. At least that's what we're hoping for right now. We may have to reshuffle this depending on entries, but I'll keep you posted on that in a moment. Winners of each of these tournaments will receive a share of the IWAR credit coming from the entry fees, and the overall winner will receive a shot at the Revolution Championship. Entries are due in by February 11th. This cycle coming up is your very last chance to get in. After that, it is closed. Finito. It is done, and those are going to be the brackets. Things will be starting up on March the 3rd, and we'll be going on from there, and it's be on cruise control and no looking back.
Thank you. That works for me. Next up, we also have the Von Erich Classic number 3. And I'll just kind of quickly, as of course, a 6-man championship tournament. And it looks like we have a lot of people in so far. We have, let's see, 2, 11, 13, 16, 17 teams already in it. So it's already looking to shape up to be a pretty good tournament. All probably going to have is a play-in round. We'll see what happens. If we get some more teams in, that's even better. But that is going to be going off very soon as well. So you'll have the Von Erich Classic and the Four Corners Invitational going off, and there's a spring for you. Then a few cycles later, you're going to have the Johnny B Cup, which will be the 7th time we've run that. That's $2. I'm sorry, I'm going to back up for a second. It's $5 per trio in the Von Erich Classic. So it's a little more money, but it's going to be a bigger prize. The Johnny B Cup is going to be the 7th time, and that is a $2 per entry event. There are some more parameters to this. If you look in your current IWAR post, you'll see more information on that. And, of course, the 24th Murano Memorial Tag Team Tournament. We have a lot of teams in that as well. That's a tag tournament, so more to come. But it's really this is part of what makes the game fun for us over here. So feel free to get involved and, make it what it can be for you. The IWAR Gold Strategy Workshop, we had a good string there. We got the 27 drops correct. We got the 28 drops correct. And then we got the 31. So you got half the drop correct in this past cycle. So we were halfway there. But I did an extended kind of breakdown of looking at the drops. So that was for the front 10. So this time for the back 5, we're going to do a deep dive into that. So again, it's all about having the game make more sense for players and helping guys out. I welcome any questions or any suggestions or ideas. Like Mike Cook had some good advice, back end stuff. But really, it's about having fun in the game, and I think we've got a lot coming up. So right now, these big 4 events are going to go through. The other event going on that's coming up soon is the All Rookie Cup, and that is an NWL only event. And what we will do is we will have the top 16 performers out of the NWL compete, and it'll be like the Women's Cup where the top 8 out of the top 16 scores advance, then the top 4 out of the top 8. So it keeps going down the way. The top 2 will face off head-to-head. It is a lot of fun. It's a great tournament. Logan Kane won it last year. 2 years ago, Logan Kane won it. Last year was Zamudio. So anyways, that's the IWAR events, and I know Alex had some other stuff you wanted to talk about.
I did?
You did. You forget already?
What was I supposed to talk about?
The new look bulletins.
Oh, yeah.
There's no better way to enrage your fans than by doing something nice for them. So if you're like, hey, guys, here's this new look, and people go, I hate you! You ruined the game! Is really the kind of reaction. I think we have a lot of Kylo Rens who play the IWA. That's my theory on this. A lot of guys who just pop off, explode in rage and fury because they didn't get asked about changing things.
They didn't ask us either.
Yeah. I love my favorite reaction. My absolute favorite reaction was someone who messaged me with like, "Did you see that on my homepage?" And I was like, "No." Look at the bulletin. So I go look at the bulletins. And like, "Is this you?" And I'm like, "No." Guys, I don't know what's going on with Operation Low Blow. I don't know who's behind it. I have rough ideas. We talked with pre-show about why they did this after all these years. And I think it comes down to one very simple thing: saving money. It's about streamlining the report. It's about, shrinking down the font size to make it, less to pack. I know from what the last time I talked to you, Kim, I was told it's about 50 to 60% of the players went green. So most people are just doing digital copies. I use paper copies because I have a ridiculous amount of IWAR stuff in storage right now. So I'm essentially, I was trying to explain to my dad because I'm moving soon, so he's helping me pack stuff. And he was like, what is all this stuff? And I was like, well, you know how you're like a model railroader and you have all this historical stuff from from years of building models and the train shows. He's like, yeah. I'm like, I kind of have that for a goofy wrestling game. Yeah, so that's that. Let me think. What else? I know right now if you go to that IWA homepage, there hasn't people to vote on the look, and it's very minimal. Like for instance, if you look at the current rankings page, you have a wrestler name, their record, their money, and their stars earned, then their ID number. I think that's great. You eliminated the page for the IDs. That's great. But then they have a whole thing where there's dots at it, there's not dots. It's just like, I think it looks good either way. Minimal differences, but I don't think it's worth, breaking a beer bottle and shanking somebody over. So I would suggest you vote how you like it. I'm going to vote the way I like it, and whatever wins, wins. I don't really care. I like the cleaner, crisp look of the front page. And just so you know, what you can do now, if you didn't realize this, they kind of explain it this way. The championships all have an ID number. So if you just want to play it safe and not screw up and do the wrong person, you could just put I always want to face the TV champion. If you know you're ranked in the top 10, just put down my wrestler verse 502. And for the tag team, and I clarified this with the IWA, you use either number 789 or 987 for the league or the TV tag championships. Now, what they do is essentially, if you have 3 wrestlers, that system automatically knows that it's a 6-man championship match, not a tag match. So we'll see how long that works out. It really is just about having fun. So
you think, what's the possibility? So league champion, you use 501, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if your league has 502 wrestlers?
Well, as far as I know, the most it's ever been is 275 wrestlers. But
okay, that's fair.
It's probably been more than that over time. I mean, I'm sure somewhere, but that was a long time ago, so it could be more. But I think you'll never hit that 500 mark. I know in the old days, they used to cap leagues at 100 wrestlers. And then it was 150. And I remember 275 was because of one of the leagues. I think it was it the MRL? One of the big leagues over the years hit that mark. But it was when it was Flutter time. So new bulletins. I don't know what else is coming out that's new. There's some other changes are coming. We'll see.
I like the look of the new bulletin. I think the boys over at Lobo, whatever. It's not us because we wouldn't come up with such a goofy name.
No, I would have used something like Fist.
No, we would have fucking took credit for that shit.
Yeah. I would have built up in this year, 2020, you're gonna see a whole new IWA. You're gonna get these scans. Something fun like that. But nope, low blow. So I've been told there's other things in the works. I don't know what else it is. It makes you wonder, how much other things they could do to save money.
I'm just saying, if they ever go to that PayPal model, where I can just send them money via PayPal instead of giving them my credit card information.
Yep.
That would be fucking choice. A e-form for your matches would be another good one, where I can send an electronic form with my matches and my strats on it. That would be a fucking, instead of sending them, I send them a goofy email. You know what I mean? And having it streamlined and everyone sending the same thing in once again, because I'm assuming everyone used the match selection sheets back in the days, but no one uses those anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
So maybe e-form would be nice. PayPal would be a bonus at this point. I'm glad they're making attempts to finally get into 2003. Congratulations.
Oh, so there it is. That's what's going on.
I dig it. All right, guys. So we are officially out of time. So for Matt Riley, for Michael Swanson, I'm Alex G. Have a good night.
And you know something? This Slam Jam stuff is unbelievable! Oh, this This is the Stinger, and I want you to stay tuned for more World Championship Wrestling.